11, 11 and a half. She's always struggled with many things, but we've never been able to pinpoint what the problems were. Always struggled at school. And then she was diagnosed with autism August 2020. So initially at the beginning of, the first lockdown in March 2020, Lizzie found it really hard to access anything online. So anything Zoom group wise was very challenging, and she would refuse to do it. So she wouldn't engage with anything online unless camera was off. She was on mute, and then she'd just get distracted. So not a lot of learning happened at all. As a family, obviously, we've had to juggle working from home, other siblings. Not easy, but not impossible. But Lizzie's found the pressures of life being taken away much easier. So she's gained an awful lot of benefit from not having to do what she would normally have to do. We have, yeah, we really have. Over the year, we've sorted out other sort of alternatives for her. So we've managed to set up some sort of set one-to-one sessions with different people. So that's how we've discovered that's how she likes to learn best, one-to-one. So it's completely gauged at her. She hasn't got to worry about the pressures of anybody else and speaking in front of other people. So we've arranged sort of one-to-one sessions via Zoom, but she can engage with them fully and get the best she can from them. So we've managed to sort of slot those in at set times each week, which again has really helped her. We are doing everything completely led by her. So she chooses what we do, when we do it, how we do it, apart from the set sessions, but they're very much led by the tutor to say, well, what would you like to do? And having that choice has helped her feel in control. Absolutely. She's learned many things that she wouldn't have had the opportunity to, because again, she's not having to engage with real life and being out in people and being stressed by school. She's felt more comfortable in herself and more confident. So whereas before she was scared of boiling the kettle because obviously it was hot and it might hurt her, she's now learned making tea. So now she's happily making tea for everybody, which is something she would have never have done before. And she's also learning a little bit about what she likes about learning and what she doesn't like. She's able to recognize why she didn't like learning at school as much as she does now. I think it's not sticking to a timetable, having the fact that learning doesn't happen between 9 and 3 Monday to Friday. We can learn at any time. So Lizzie doesn't sleep early, so we've found her picking up a word search or picking up some maths work at 10 o'clock at night. That's fine. It doesn't have to be in a set routine, so to speak. So we found that has been really useful to just go, we don't have to do it on a set day, so therefore we can learn whenever she's ready and whenever we're ready. Would be to do what they love, follow what they want to do rather than worrying about sticking to the national curriculum, because we've obviously stuck to the national curriculum for the last however many years. It hasn't done her any favours. Now we've taken that pressure off and gone, what do you want to do? We are seeing more successes. We don't have to read if you don't want to read. We only have to read the books you want to read, and we only have to watch the things you want to watch. So her being in control has helped. I would say feeling like you're doing the best by your child, because not having the support of school is daunting, and you feel suddenly responsible for not just the welfare but also the education. So taking that pressure off helps, and knowing that you're not that's the hardest bit for me. Finding people that understand, so making sure the family are on board with what we're doing and how we're homeschooling, which is one of the biggest challenges, but having their support helps. And for me, it's taking the dogs for a walk, getting out of the house and just having 10 minutes by myself, which is obviously having children at home all the time. You don't get that peace and quiet of 9 till 3. So being able to just have some time out for yourself. So for me, my pleasure is walking the dogs. So going out every day, walking the dogs and having some peace and quiet means that I'm looked after as well. Our family are much happier. We're not stuck to a routine. We feel more relaxed, we feel more free, and our children are happier. Initially, it was really difficult swapping from that sort of structured school life to then suddenly not having any guidance. So that initial part was really difficult. But over time, they've adapted she's adapted really well, because she now feels so much happier. So she's adapted the way she approaches things. She's adapted her confidence, and her self-esteem means that she has sort of recognized, I can do these things. I'm not struggling anymore. I can do things because I'm doing everything at my own pace. Well, we've decided to homeschool her long term. So we won't be sending her back to school because we've seen so many positives and so many benefits of her being home. Potential now is we've got to decide whether our other daughter's going back or not. I think for most people, everyone goes, well, the education's most important. But for me, if my child's not happy and they don't know how to regulate their emotions, and they're struggling through life all the time, they're not going to learn anyway. So I think it's breaking away from that norm, isn't it?